Well, friends, the Nintendo Switch 2 has now been officially revealed as of, I want to say about 8:05 a.m. Eastern yesterday morning. And there was no pre-day announcement tweet for this, no one-day notice like Nintendo usually tends to do when it comes to Nintendo Directs. And speaking of which, there was a direct of some sort announced at the end of the reveal trailer from yesterday, and I will get to that a bit later on. But in terms of the reveal, yeah, like no prior heads up. It was just it was there. All right, and that's kind of the way Furukawa has done business with these kind of announcements ever since he became president. The Switch Lite reveal, there was like no prior warning. It was just there, like the day they planned to reveal that, and the same went for the Nintendo Switch OLED. And so, from what I saw in that video, of course, it's just slightly bigger than the Switch that's currently available now. So Nintendo didn't really do too much to it to upgrade it, but they didn't really have to do that. Now, I think it looks pretty okay. I mean, the fact that you can slide the Joy-Con across the table from like a computer mouse now, that's pretty cool. And not to mention a brand new Mario Kart game that will likely be coming out later this year and released as the big launch title aside from the system. Yes, please. So what I want to do in this video is go over some things that I want for the Nintendo Switch 2, as well as some of my other thoughts. Now, well, the things that I want to see on it. Now, the most important thing, absolutely no Joy-Con drift. Because if you remember, the Switch that we have right now, as you know, that has been on the market since March of 2017, and the stick and the joysticks that are on the control sticks that are on the Joy-Cons on that, they're not exactly what you call reliable. Well, I mean, they would work like for a good while at first, but then after a certain amount of time, it doesn't really matter how much time. Like it could happen at any point. There'd be stick drift, and of course, for those who don't know what stick drift is, it's basically what happens is your character basically moves on the screen during a gameplay without any of your inputs. So yeah, that's basically how stick drift works. And of course, and Nintendo, in their infinite and beautiful wisdom, has been trying to cover up this by pretending it doesn't exist. Meaning, anytime you would try to ask Nintendo about that kind of issue in Q&A, they'd be like, what Joy-Con drift? We don't know about anything about that. Well, I've got news for you. If you would have just opened your eyes and not been so stubborn, you obviously would have seen the mountain of issues that Joy-Con drift has caused for people on your system. It has affected a great number of people, and for you to not even so much as see that, well, you know what? I'm not going to ramble about that. But thankfully, there's supposed to, from what I've heard, there's supposed to be new Hall technology in the sticks for the new system, which, if true, would eliminate Joy-Con drift altogether. And that, like I said, is one of the main things that I want. No Joy-Con drift equals no problems, and we'll all be very happy. Okay? Okay. Now, another thing that I want to see on that is some better online service. And I bring this up because the online that they have on the Switch right now is passable at best. I mean, listen, this is especially evident when I play Mario Party with people. I mean, like, sometimes they'll be fine, but other times it'll lag horribly, like at the rate of 5 frames per second, to the point where the game is virtually unplayable. And yeah, and that is usually caused by one of two things: either one person having extremely bad internet, or Nintendo servers just having a bad day. But let's just hope that the online service will be an improvement. Although knowing Nintendo, they'll probably find a way to make it even worse while still charging even more money. But I digress. But yeah, better online service. That's definitely another thing that I want to see, especially when it comes to multiplayer games like Mario Party. Now, as for Mario Kart, from what I've seen in that trailer, that is supposed to support up to 24 players. And if Nintendo servers for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe can barely hold can barely hold 12 players consistently without disconnects, then how do you suppose trying to support 24 people is going to work? Well, that's something for Nintendo to figure out because, well, I am not a game designer. But if you all noticed from the brief clips of Mario Kart that they showed, the map that was shown was a bit wider than what you normally see in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that, of course, is to accommodate for the large number of players that are going to be in the game. And but yeah, and plus another thing, 12-player Mario Kart is already chaotic as it is. Imagine how chaotic it's going to be with 24 players. Like, blue shells up the wazoo every 5 seconds. That's going to get really annoying really quick. Especially when it comes to online. Oh. I mean, and like the competitiveness level with 24 players, that is going to go through the roof. Alright. But yeah, anyway, better online service. That is definitely another thing that I would want to see. Hopefully. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least to the level of like say PlayStation and Xbox. Alright, so that's the second thing. And then the third thing is a change to how we add friends. And I bring this up because if you will recall, ladies and gentlemen, with each system, Nintendo has had certain ways where we add friends. On the Nintendo Wii, you added people by friend code, I believe. Yeah, I believe that was how that worked. I believe that was also the same thing on the regular DS as well as the 3DS. Now, on the Nintendo Wii U, which of course was the worst selling Nintendo system ever, the way they handled that was you would add by username. By username, which is definitely an improvement. So you would think that they would keep that. You would think that they would keep that in place for the system after that, which of course was the Switch. But no, in their infinite wisdom and their infinite wisdom, they thought it would be a terrific idea to go backwards and have you add by friend code again for the Nintendo Switch. Like why? Like, that makes no sense. Like, why are we dealing with friend codes in 2025? Now, like I said, I don't work for Nintendo, but if I did, here's how I would do it. Here's how I would make it work for adding friends on this new system. You do it, and this is the way that PlayStation and Xbox have always done it. You simply search for the person that you want to add by looking up their username. That's all you have to do. Very convenient. But, I mean, it sounds simple, right? But there are certain problems that you possibly run into with this. I mean, let's say there's, like, several people that have similar names. That can be confusing, and it'll make it hard to tell which person is which of those names is the actual one that you're looking for. So there's issues with that. But so I don't know how Nintendo's going to handle that. That what I also don't know is if we are going to be able to keep our current friend lists that we have now when transferring stuff over to the new system when that comes out, or if we're going to have to start over. I really hope that we don't have to start the friend adding process over again when the new system comes out. I would rather we keep it. We'd be able to transfer everything over. Although, then again, Nintendo did say that Nintendo accounts would transfer over the new system, so I would assume that would be the same for like friend lists as well. Because if we have to start over on that part of the new system, yeah, that means I would have to go through the trouble of basically re-adding everybody that I have as friends on the Switch right now. And yeah, let's just say that would be a bit of a problem. Although, I think more than likely it'll like that'll probably be kept intact because, and I'm bringing this up for a very important reason. There are likely going to be people that probably will not get the Switch 2 right away when it comes out, whether for money reasons or other reasons, whatever. But yeah, but I know I'm planning to get one on day one, whenever it does get released. Now, as of right now, we don't know exactly when the specific release date is, but we'll probably find out that information sooner rather than later. And this brings me back to a point I mentioned at the beginning of this video, because at the end of the reveal video, they listed the date of April 2nd, 2025. And before anyone gets too crazy, it will preface that is not, I repeat, it is not the release date for the system, although a part of me kind of wishes it were. The April 2nd date that they gave is the date that they will be holding a Nintendo Direct focused specifically on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, at that point, we will probably find out details on the games that will be coming to the system, so we'll probably find out more information about the Mario Kart. We'll probably find out about other games, like I said, like a brand new 3D Mario, as well as other great stuff. And we'll also likely find out pricing points, the release date, as well as pre-order information. So that's definitely all going to be very exciting. And one thing I actually forgot to bring up when I did my reaction video yesterday was that I am going to be reacting to that Direct whenever it happens. The broadcast time for that Direct, for that date, is not known as of yet, but again, that information is going to be coming at a later time. Alright, so that's it from me. Now, what do you people think of the Nintendo Switch 2? Personally, I think it looks pretty awesome. Although we kind of already knew what it was more or less going to look like because of all the leaks that were coming out. Really, the only thing that had any sort of surprise in that trailer was the tease of Mario Kart. But you know what? That's fine. As long as there's some sort of surprise, that's really all people care about. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 will be here before you know it, people, and when it does, it is going to be exciting. I'm definitely going to be planning to cover Switch 2 as much as possible here on the channel, especially when it comes to gameplays. So that'll definitely be exciting. And as of right now, the first Switch 2 gameplay that will likely be done on the channel is likely going to be the new Mario Kart. And as much as I'd love to be able to do that right now, I obviously can't because the system isn't available right now. But it will be later this year. In terms of a release date, my guess is probably somewhere around late May / early June. So late spring, early summer. And one other thing also that I forgot to mention is that there is a Nintendo Switch 2 first hands-on experience that they will be doing across various cities throughout the world throughout the months of April and May. And there is and when I saw there was a Toronto stop as part of that tour, that got me a bit excited. But unfortunately, the dates that it's happening where I live are dates where I am not going to be here because I am going to be out of town during that period. So, sucks for me, but oh well. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking about the Switch 2 for the last 15 minutes or so. And I will be back later, a little bit later with some more, with a Donkey Kong episode at 3 o'clock, and a brand new episode of Press Rock XL this evening at 8 o'clock. See you then!